Welcome to our daily Forex market analysis, and this is for trading on April the 13th, 2021. Just a quick disclaimer here before we get started. This is for educational purposes only. Trading is a risky business, so please be careful with your money. As usual, we'll start off by taking a look at our calendar here. So coming up, we do have the business confidence numbers from Australia, as well as the trade balance numbers from China. So the trade balance numbers from China generally have an impact on Australia as well as New Zealand because of the trade relationship between those countries. So watch out for that reaction in Aussie and New Zealand if the numbers are positive. So right now, any kind of positive numbers will point to a good recovery. So after the COVID, if we are expecting good recovery, numbers show that the recovery is good or we are on the way up, that will be a positive thing. And we are likely to see, we're likely to see the Australian dollar and New Zealand dollar go up as well. But if the numbers come in lower than expected, they're already forecasted to be lower, but if they are less than these numbers, then we're likely to have a negative or see a negative impact on those currencies. Coming up on Tuesday here, we have monthly GDP numbers for pound, but CPI numbers here. CPI numbers are very important numbers. These numbers show us where the economy may be going. So they are precursors to retail sales. So if actually, sorry, they're not precursors to retail sales. Basically, they just show where everything is in terms of the economy. So these are inflation numbers. If the inflation numbers are going up too much, actually, that will be a bad thing. So right now, because of the amount of money supply that we have in the economy, money that is being put in from the various central banks, this is concerning. Too much inflation is concerning. So if there's normal amount of inflation, the central banks want to see the inflation going up. But if there's too much inflation, that is a negative thing. So keep this in mind. Slight inflation, if the numbers match here, that will be good. Slightly higher, still okay. If it shoots up too much, that will be the problem. But for now, this is okay. And then we have rate statement here. In terms of rate statement here, not really expecting a change at this point. None of the central banks, we are looking for them to raise rates at this point. Most important thing will be the forward guidance. If the forward guidance basically suggests that everything will stay the same, there will be support from the central banks and they will continue to pump money or keep the monetary policy the same, then that will be good for the stock market, not that great for the currency. Status quo will be okay for the currency. It will actually make it go up. But if they say they're going to increase the money supply, that will be a negative thing. All right, so let's take a look at our charts now. So we'll start off with euro dollar here. So euro dollar right now going sideways here. As we can see, price has been stuck in this range for the last few days. So we do have a bullish candle close, but doesn't mean much because we had a nice bullish candle close here as well. So at this point, if the price, what I'm looking for is a retest of the top of the range, which is at 1.1925. If it fails, then looking for price to go back into the range. So this is still range bound. Now there are two scenarios that are possible here. One is reversal if the price goes through the support level of the range here. But if it goes through the resistance here, then we are looking for a move back into the high here. So we could see a continuation move here. So one of these ones. So we'll keep an eye. Right now, price is not ready. It's just neutral here. Neutral to bullish is the bias. If price goes through this resistance, then we're looking at 1.1950. And then above that, we will aim for the top of the range. But like I said, price is not ready yet. Only if it holds above 1.1925, then we will look for the 1925. For now, I'm expecting a range bound move here. So neutral to bullish bias here for euro dollar. Pound dollar here, this one's looking a little bit more bullish here. Price is into resistance though, so that's something to watch out for. This is where it had struggled before. But bias is neutral to bullish here First target is 1.3780. Above that, we're looking at 1.3840. So neutral to bullish bias for pound dollar. Aussie dollar, this one's still stuck in that range here. It's been trading in this little range for quite some time. And again, we have to wait for price to show us direction. Today's candle close is completely neutral, so no real direction for Aussie dollar at this point. I will look for a move between 0.7670 and 0.7580, which is the bottom of this range. So neutral bias for Aussie dollar. New Zealand dollar, this one is also stuck in a bit of a range. It's been trading sideways here for the last few days. Today's candle close, spinning top, completely neutral candle. Price opened and closed at exactly the same point. So neutral bias here. Again, we'll have to wait and see which direction this wants to go in, because right now at the moment it is just stuck sideways here. So there's no clear direction. So this one we have to wait. If price goes through the resistance, then we will aim for the top of this candle, and this rest of this candle will get filled. But if it breaks through the support, then we're looking for that continuation move higher. However, right now it's just completely neutral. Dollar CAD here, dollar CAD also stuck in a range here, a slightly bigger range than the Aussie dollar and New Zealand dollar. However, this is the range it's been trading in. Today we do see a slightly bullish candle, but doesn't mean much. It's not a very strong candle. At this point, we could just see one of these and price could go test the support. So right now, neutral bias for dollar CAD as well. We just need to be patient to wait for a setup. All right, let's take a look at commodities here. Silver looking bearish. We see that price turn around here, couldn't go through the resistance, and now we're looking for price to drop, looking for a follow through here. Nice drop today. Next target is 24.58. And then below that, we have 24.38. So bias here is bearish for silver. Gold as well, looking bearish. As we can see, price went and tested the resistance, couldn't go through it, and now we are seeing that turnaround. Next target here is 1722. And below that, we're looking at 1708. So bearish bias for gold. Oil here, oil is completely neutral. It's still trading in that wide range, but today's candle close looking quite neutral. And if price holds here, we could see a move towards 57.20, but it's sideways. So neutral bias for oil as well. Copper here still has slight bearishness to it, but not very strong. The momentum is not quite there. So for now, bias is bearish, and we're looking for price to come down towards 3.90 back into the support here. So bearish bias for copper. Bitcoin here, Bitcoin did make that move, went right through into 60,000, went higher than 60,000, 61,270. And now we have a pin bar there. So we may see a move lower, and looking at 57,353. If it holds above, then it can go through, but the candle doesn't look that strong. It just doesn't have the momentum that it did back here, which means we need to be careful here. I would say neutral to slightly bullish bias, but not looking super strong in terms of bullishness right now. S&P 500, it has very little momentum, but it is still moving to the upside here. I think we need to be careful here. Things could turn. It just doesn't have the momentum. So similar to what we were seeing here, it doesn't have as strong a momentum. But then again, if something comes into the market to make it shoot up, it can still go higher. So still looking bullish. Next target is 41.75 here, but I would start being careful here in case we may get a pullback here. Nasdaq also looking bullish. Next target is 13,900, But again, the candles just don't have the momentum. They're not showing the momentum. They're not spread out like these candles. They're looking quite restricted here, which is usually a sign of a pullback or a turnaround. So watch out for something like this. Bias here is neutral to bullish for NASDAQ, and target is 13,900. Dow Jones still holding above, but as we can see from the candles, not a whole lot going on at the moment. But because it's holding above, it's holding on to the highs, which means there's still momentum to the upside. So the next target here is 34,000. So neutral bias here for Dow Jones. DAX here also stuck sideways. It looks like the market is just overall just waiting for something to happen. So no real good setups here at the moment. So we'll have to wait for tomorrow's session. But with this one here, still sideways, it's holding on to the highs, which means there's still momentum to the upside. Not very strong, but still looking bullish. So at this point, we need to wait and see which direction it wants to break through. So either the high, and if it breaks through the high at 15,300, we are looking for a continuation move higher and towards 15,500. For now, bias is neutral to bullish for DAX. FTSE here, FTSE did drop a bit here. And as we can see, price moved away from the support, which means it could go back into the resistance here at 69.50. So neutral to bullish bias here for FTSE as well. Nikkei had a nice bearish candle close, but again, same way here, price hasn't quite broken through the support, so we need to watch out for that. But bias is bearish. Caution will be the support level here. Next target is 29,000, so bearish bias here for Nikkei. All right, so that's it. We'll call it a wrap. Have a wonderful trading day, and I'll be back again tomorrow.